Hello everybody, welcome to the second episode of our teenaging podcast. My name is Nikki and I'm joined today by
Rihanna
and
Sarah. 2 seconds ago we recorded like the intro and they were like, my name is Nikki, and then Rihanna was like, my name is Sarah, and I was like, my name is Hada. Like, it was just it. I don't know what happened. It came over me. So yeah, that's why we're a little bit weird. Anyways, you've had quite a day so far. How's your day been?
It was chaotic. I woke up and I overslept and
as usual.
shut up. And oh fuck, it was really what am I saying? It was very nerve-wracking.
She's still rattled from the experience.
It was very nerve-wracking because I was supposed to catch a bus. Well, I wanted to catch a bus because I didn't want to walk in the 40 degrees weather to the station to meet Rihanna. But I'm not very, like I thought I was street smart, but I'm not.
She's not.
I haven't caught a bus in like years, so you could probably imagine how that would turn out. So the bus was supposed to come at 10:15 a.m. and so it was like 10:10, right? And I was like, oh my god, when the bus is gonna come? Is it gonna come early? Is it gonna come late? So like two other buses came in front of me, like opposite the road to the bus stop, and I thought it was my bus. Like, I don't know. So I like ran across the road to it. It was not even a crosswalk, and like. Oh my god, like, it was about to leave, but the guy waited, like, for me. Like, and he opened the door. Everyone looked annoyed at me, and I'm like, oh no. And the white old woman stared at me. I was like, oh. And then it was the wrong bus. So I crossed the road again, and I did that twice. Fuck, I don't know why I do this.
Yeah, no, when I first...
So I just walked.
Yeah, no, when I first started, like, the whole public transport thing, I was like, oh my god, what if my bus is on the other side? Like, I full on pulled a Nikki. But, like, because I was just like Nikki where, like, I hadn't used the bus for anything but school excursions, right? Mm-hmm. So when I moved schools, I was, like, far away, and I had to, like, pull a Rihanna on y'all. And, like, I had to start using, like, the train, the bus, and also walk. Like, literally Rihanna since year 6. So, like, when I started doing that, I, like, at the start, I was like, oh my god, my bus is on the other side, like, for sure, like, I got this wrong. Like, literally on the first day of school, I ended up in, like, the opposite side of where I was supposed to be. Like, no. I completely ended up in a different town, and I was so scared. I saw this brown lady on the bus, and I was like, please take me to home. I don't know where I am.
Bro, I remember in year 7, one of my first times catching a train to school, I went on the wrong platform. I ended up on the city side.
Oh, no, that's so scary.
Public transport, like, it just, like, fuels, like, awkward moments. I've had lots of awkward experiences when it comes to public transport. Like, I wait a long time for, like, my buses and stuff like that, and one day, like, I just happened to be on my period, and, like, I'm waiting there at, like, the bus stop, just living life, on my phone or whatever, and, like, I just get up, because I'm like, I've been sitting for so long, like, waiting for my bus, and, like, I look behind me, and I'm like, oh my god, this seat has a red spot, guys. And I was like, girl, look, somebody got murdered here. Like, I was like, oh no. Like, it was so bad. It was actually so traumatic. Luckily, nobody else was sitting at the bus stop at the time. God. So I was just like, I got my bottle of water and I was like, hosing away the blood. I can't even, like, whenever I think about, like, that moment, I was like, that was one of the saddest times. And just imagine the bus ride home from that experience. Like, you're just sitting there uncomfortably, like, you're like, oh,
your butt's hovering above.
Oh my god.
Ever since then, whenever I go to that bus stop, like, I stare at that seat, and I don't sit down. I haven't sit down on that bus stops, like, thing since that day. Yeah, and, I go walking with, like, Nikki and, like, one of our other friends sometimes, And you know, one day like Nikki was like tired and she's like, okay, can we just sit for a bit? And we came across a bus stop. And she went to go sit down. I'm like, sorry, I'm not gonna sit down. I have a thing with bus stops. Literally, that's the reason why. Bro, it was so traumatic. I would never ever forget how like sad that was. And I remember like bus drivers like driving past as I was waiting for my bus. They're all like smiling. It's like a lot of people were giving me attention that day. And I was like, not today, please. Like I'm trying to clean away the trauma. Like I don't know what to do. But yeah, that's just like leaking is just such like a thing that you gotta deal with as a girl. Yeah.
That's what we wanted to talk about today.
Yeah.
Periods.
Oh my
A
God,
common
the
thing so many females go through.
First periods. Those are either really boring, like first periods, like I just got it, and then
Yeah.
But some people have got some tales. How was your first period, Rihanna?
Oh, I never like got the talk beforehand.
really?
Like, oh, this is what
Yeah.
you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Here, it's in this drawer if you need it. Blah 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 blah. I never got any of that, and I was never told to like carry pads in my bag or anything.
Okay.
So I remember one time, I was in class.
Oh no.
And towards the end, I was like, I really need to pee, but that's weeks I never, like, go bathroom during school because I was bathrooms are disgusting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go, I don't wanna, like... Anyway, so I went, and I, like... I sat down, I put on my pants, and I look, I'm like... And it was, like, a brown, red
Oh
spot.
my god, yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, no. At first, I was like, oh my god, did I shit myself? Just like sit on my shit for that long. What's happening?
You popped the hemorrhoid?
And then sit with her. Actually,
You
get sit with her.
You know that feeling when something scary happens? You feel like your whole soul just you feel like cold sweat.
Yeah.
Like that's what was happening. And I like there was a huge line of girls. I'm like, no, what do I do? So like I like put a tissue and I was like, okay, my friends are here. Sierra knows what to do. Sierra's the one who has appeared in our friend group.
Yeah.
And so I picked back my pants up, I flushed the toilet, I ran outside, I like crossed my arms because I felt insecure. I walked up to lunch table and I just went to Sierra and I was like, I perioded. Like, that's not even a word, but whatever. So I was like, I got you, man.
Yeah, no, at the time, I had got my period like significantly like earlier than them. So like at that point I was like kind of like, yeah, like I know it okay enough. So I was like, I got you, like you know.
I remember wanting my mum so bad.
Wanting your mom.
Yeah, I don't know why.
No, you
Yeah.
understand.
No, that's normal.
You want that motherly support.
Yeah.
I got my first period like with Susanna with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
At the same time?
no, we didn't get
that would be like...
she was just with me the day it
Oh,
happened, like
okay.
throughout the entire day. So like we were just hanging out one day, chilling. I don't know what we were doing. I think she just came over to my house like the summer holiday or something like that. You know, I was like year 5 or year 6. Anyways, so we were like hanging out, and I was like, oh, I just had to go to the bathroom, right? And at that point, we had been running around all day, like, you know, being kids or whatever, like, when I actually used to do that. So, like, I went to the bathroom, and, like, again, I did the same thing as Rihanna. I pulled out my pants. I'm like, did I shit myself? Like, excuse me, what is this? But then, I was like, wait a second. Because at that point, I didn't get the talk either. Like, I didn't get the official talk. My mom was more like, oh, like, are you getting a period? Yeah, because I know it's kind of taboo to talk about it, but discharge is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had discharge for like 2 years.
Oh,
So like it was like I was just like, oh, like I guess this is my period then, right? But I was like kind of like, is this shit? Like I didn't know. So then the next day I was like, okay, if this keeps going, then this is my period. So then the next day, I still haven't told my mom, by the way. I told Susanna though. Like I walked out, I was like, girl, I don't know, man. But so then I didn't walk out, but then the next day, right, I see that it's still there. And I'm like, okay. So then my mom is like getting ready for this big party. She's putting on her shari or whatever the hell. And I'm like, Mamuni, like, this is happening. And then she's like, okay, get a pad. Like, she had, really? She gave me no talk. She's so chill. Like, literally, she was like, oh my God, Finny. She's like, okay, just get a pad. And she wasn't even like, do you want me to teach you how to put it on? Like, nothing like that. She's like, okay, get a pad, go do it. And I was like, okay. Like,
really?
and I was like, alright, man, like, this is how it is. So I guess I had to, like, do it all on my own. So I
Yeah.
had become, like, very, like, I figured it out all.
Mhm.
And then, like, when it came to, like, Rihanna's period, and then it was, like, Susanna's. I remember Susanna's happened on Rihanna's birthday party.
Oh, really?
It did.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, she didn't, like, I don't know. Like, it happened on her birthday party, and she texted me because, like, you know, come to Mother Sarah. And
Yeah.
oh my God. To me, and she's
Really
like,
caught her that. That's a true statement. Sorry. continue.
true statement. She texted me, she's like, my God, I think I'm dying. And I was like, oh my God. And literally, I can't believe this happened. She's like, I was like, send me a picture, like, I don't know, maybe, like, and she did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, yeah, you know, you're on your period, my dude. And she was so scared. She's like, I'm gonna cry. Like, where's my mom? And then she's like, how do you put a pad on? And I remember, and I had to give her, like, you know, a step by step. It was so cute. Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
I'm like on the opposite end of you guys.
Why?
Like,
What happened?
because like, okay, so I got mine in year 6. Actually, I remember the exact date. It was,
I remember my exact
oh
date.
yeah, because we had like an excursion or something. So
Yeah.
it was the 6th July 2000.
Mine was
I don't
like May 3rd.
Oh
so,
really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
On a Friday. Anyway, continue.
Okay. Anyway,
The second this episode comes out, like, I'm just gonna be really awkward about it. And I know that's like the thing's like taboo to talk about it.
Mm.
And I guess we're like slowly trying to get ourselves like comfortable with that stuff.
Mm.
But it is like, because we've been kind of trained to be like that,
Yeah.
I feel so awkward. Like,
Mm.
like right now I feel fine because I'm just like talking with my friends. But I know the second it comes out, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, what did I say, man? I didn't want that to be online. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be very, very scared.
It's okay, we only have like 3 followers.
That's right. Us 3 devoted
okay.
listeners, we love y'all.
But anyway, like in year 6, so like in year 6 we already had the talk at school,
Oh,
right? So
really?
we already knew everything.
Mhm.
Like how it's like, oh, the egg comes, and unless it's fertilized, you know, your uterus lining will shed, and then like that's where the blood comes from. Your body prepares for it, and we already had that talk, and my mom was surprisingly like really understanding because I have a sister in the house as well, so she told me, she gave me that talk, and my mom was like, come here. Like one day she just like, come here, and we went to the bathroom, and she put out the drawer and she took out a pad, and then she grabbed her underwear and she was like, okay, this is how you put it on when you get your first period. And I was like, it was great. Like I knew like some of my friends didn't have this kind of openness with their parents about their periods, but I did, and then like surprisingly, like a week later I just got it, and I wasn't even surprised. Like I don't know why, I was expecting it. I just woke up and there's blood everywhere in my pants. I don't know why, it was heavy at the time, but yeah, it was
I
blood.
was really heavy on my first few periods.
Yeah, and then I went to my mom and I was like, Mom, I got my period, and she's like, she was so shocked. She was more surprised than me. She freaked out. I don't know, like, and then yeah, she gave me all the steps. She gave me another tutorial. And yeah, I was supported.
My mom was like in denial. She's like, no, you're growing up. No, this is happening so
This is so
fast.
different.
My mom
to
told
me.
the whole family.
Oh my God.
This is actually so different
Like,
to me.
straight away, as soon as I told my mom that I got my period, she's like, okay, this is how you hide it from your dad and brother and your
Oh
uncle.
really?
I'm like, okay. And I was just like trained to like
Yeah,
not show
it's
my,
like that thing.
the
It's like
male in my
taboo.
house.
I don't think my mom made that pronounced, but I think like other like aunties I have in my family circle, like they always tell like their younger kids, like some of my younger cousins who look up to me, you know, they're always like really like taboo about that stuff and they don't like talking about it. And I'm like, you shouldn't feel that way. Like that's, I know you're trained to feel like that, and even I go through that sometimes, but that shouldn't be how it is. I find it so funny that like your parents were like that, because my mom, she was so supportive up till it actually happened. Like before then, like since like year 4, she's been asking like, have you got your period? And once there was like a false alarm about me getting my period, and she freaked out that day. She's like, oh my God, get this woman a pad. Like she was like so scared, right? But then when I actually got it, I think she was so like used to asking me like every single week. She's like, oh okay. And then she's
just numb
like,
to it.
she's like, get the pad, it's in the bathroom, like, you know, she got to that point. So I don't think she made it like this thing where it's like, don't tell your parents and blah blah blah, but it was kind of like expected, I think, from my family group, even though they're very much like very out there compared to, like, I think that my circle, they're pretty like unconventional when it comes to most things. Like they don't pull off most of the stereotypes have been like hyper religious and stuff like that. But they do have like some of the tropes, and one of them is definitely like the whole thing where like be very secretive about your menstrual cycle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of my younger cousins are like that because that's what they've been taught. So they're really awkward about it. Like one of my younger cousins, she's like, I hate like even being around my dad when I'm on my period because I feel uncomfortable. And she shouldn't be like, she shouldn't feel like that. Like that that shouldn't be normal. But even for us, like we talk about this openly because like we're around people that we feel safe. Right? But like we know that like the second that this comes out, we're gonna be nervous about it, especially.
Yeah. We're gonna think about all the guys listening to this.
Yeah.
And be like,
And it's not that like we think that this is wrong. This is just something that has been kind of grained into us by like social pressures, I guess. So like from that we feel kind of awkward towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I know what you mean, but yeah, like, I surprisingly, I had a very different experience. My dad was surprisingly quite supportive. Like, he asked me over the phone, like, oh, did you get your first period yet? At the time, I was, like, super nervous about it.
Yeah.
My sister answered for me, I think. And, yeah, but he was just super supportive. Like, when he came over from overseas, he just told me, like, oh, if you ever have any troubles, you know, go to your mom, go to your sister, they know the best. Or if, like, anything happens, you can come to me. And I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like what you said, that stigma and that taboo-ness, even though I had, like, a great support system, it's still in my head, like, it's still, like, ingrained in my head about, oh my god, I shouldn't talk about this stuff. Because I remember, like, not even too long ago, when I was on my period, I would go downstairs, like, because, you know, my family's around the house, but I didn't want them to know I was on my period for some reason, even though, like, they're super supportive about it. I would, like, grab the pads, I would go grab 5, I would sneak it under my shirt, and then I would run upstairs. I don't know why I did that. Like, it was just, like, there, like, I know in my head it's totally natural, but sometimes it can't be helped.
I think inside my, like, home, it's completely normal. Like, they're like, yeah, whatever. Right, like, my dad, he'll, like, buy pads for me. Like, it's, like, it's normal. But the second you kind of, like, leave home and stuff, it gets, like, really, like, awkward and stuff like that. Not just because of, like family pressures and stuff like that, but, like, even in just, like, like, society and stuff like that. When you go to, like, class and stuff like that, if you talk about your period, like, you're, like, people, like, have, like, a sour taste in their mouth. Like, they're always like, what is she, like, why is she talking about it? Like, I think one time we had, like, a math class in, like, year 8, and like, one of, like, our class members were, like, you know, they were talking about how, like, there's still a GST on tampons and pads at the time. It's removed now, and rightfully so, but at the time it wasn't. And you could just tell immediately as she started talking about it that all the guys just kind of, like, backed up into a corner. Like,
they got tense.
You could tell that they were so awkward
They,
about
like,
it.
quieted down.
Yeah, and, you know, when you see that happen, you yourself, like, feel like you shouldn't be talking about it. Because, you know, like, reaction is, like, a big thing, right? And you see that reaction, you're like, okay, I'm gonna quiet down. Because, you know, I was fine to talk about it. That's something I'm passionate about. But the second I saw that reaction, I was like, it made me feel kind of uncomfortable. I was like, should I be talking about this? Is this okay to talk about? And of course it is, but, you know, even for guys, I don't think it's entirely their fault. Because, you know, again, they're also ingrained with the social pressures and stuff like that.
Exposed to
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
as
So
well.
they know so little about it, or they're exposed so little to it, that they don't know how to react either. Yeah.
So yesterday I put on a little, like, response thing on my Instagram story to see, and just to ask people and see what their thoughts and opinions were and any question they had on periods. And one of the responses we got was, I hate the whole taboo around periods with males, especially adults, because if you're, like, not feeling because of it, then they ask, why aren't you feeling well? It's socially / culturally unacceptable to be like, I'm on my period, which is stupid, because of course they know women have periods and they learnt about it. Why can't we just say it out loud? This is a part of the human's body. Why is it so stigmatized? Literally, why can't they just be sympathetic?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why it's such a hard topic to talk about, because it's such a natural process of the human body, you know, like it's great. Oh, well, not great, but it's almost like empowering that we go through this and we can survive this. Yeah, so I think it should be something that is commended for us to go through this stuff, because like obviously we get cramps, it's a lot of trouble, spend so much money on pads and tampons.
Yeah.
But you know, like it's the only difference is that it comes out of our vagina. That's it.
I think that like the kind of the stigma behind it comes from like a long time ago, because it was like, you know, it's a bodily function that only happens to women.
Yeah.
And I think from like a long time ago, like when things only happen to women, it's not like something that needs to be expressed out loud, because they should be, you know, focusing on housework and stuff like that. Their issues are not prevalent. So I think it became taboo a long time ago, and we've kind of carried that along now, even though like a lot of things have changed and they definitely modernized. That kind of like bodily function that like half the population doesn't deal with is still taboo, because it's very personal to people, because it links to your fertility, it links to, you know, your health. So people don't like to talk about it. But we need to come to like the realization that this is something that a lot of people are affected by. And you know, as like a father or as like a friend to a girl or as a boyfriend, you need to be there as like a support system, because you know, they have to go through that every single month. And they need someone there to be there for them, because sometimes, you know, because of like the taboo-ness of the topic, people feel like they can't express how they feel about it. And like, I think for younger people, I can still see that, whereas like my cousins and stuff like that, when they're like in pain, they don't want to ask for painkillers, because they like, because their parents would be like, oh, why? And then she's gonna have to tell her dad, oh, because I'm on my period. Or like, you know, for some people when they're praying, like they have, like their father will be like, why aren't you gonna pray today? And it's like that awkward, like tense moment, you have to be like, I'm on my period or whatever. Like even for me sometimes, even though my dad's pretty open about it, I won't say I'm on my period and that's why I can't pray. I will like be like, oh, I can't pray, and he'll know that I wouldn't say that in any other case. So it's like that thing where it's like, if you're a guy, I know it can be so awkward because you're not exposed to it that often, but just be there for them, because trust me, it makes them feel supported. And you're already like starting to desensitize like the weird awkwardness of talking about it with your guy friends. Yeah,
you eliminate that tension, that awkwardness, and I think it's really important, because girls want to feel supported, because for a long time, like historically, we like women obviously didn't have like much of a voice, you know, were seen as
vulnerable.
Like we weren't seen on the same level as men, obviously. And that comes with the stigma and taboo-ness of periods as well. So obviously now it's changing, which is great, you know, like I've like, you know, feminist pages and like even ads and stuff, they're a lot more empowering and they expose a lot more, because like I saw this video, it's like the history, like 100 years of periods or something. And for a long time, like nobody talked about it. It was super taboo. Right? It never appeared in like a commercial or like ads. But for the first time, the most revolutionary thing was like it appeared as a little red dot on a pad, and that was like big. You know, now I see ads that show when girls shower, and like, you know how when you're on your period, like the blood would drip down with the water and stuff, and they showed that, and I found it so cool, because it's just like, you know, we're eliminating that tension and that taboo-ness, and we're creating a different image.
It feels like something unknown to a lot of people, so they don't know how to respond to it because they haven't experienced it. We've got a question for someone anonymously, and it says, are regular periods normal? irregular periods normal, like months on end without getting your period. So when you first get your period, it's normal for it to be irregular because your body's still getting used to the fact that it can menstruate properly now. So for months on end, you might not get your period, but it will slowly, after a while, after you've had like a couple of your periods, it will go into like a certain pattern, I guess.
You get familiar with the dates of them.
And you'll start to like realize when it comes and stuff like that, and it might change like course of your life. Like, not to be like TMI, but like I used to like have like a very like on the dot like date, like I would know it would come every single time.
Do you use an app?
I had like Clue.
Oh yeah.
Clue is so helpful.
Or
if
Flow,
you
right?
if you wanna like what's it
Track
called?
your-
Track your period and get more familiar with it. Highly recommend Clue or
Flow.
Yeah. So I used to know like by the date, but then I traveled for a bit and I don't know what happened, but my like cycle completely changed. So I'm getting like familiar with like my new cycle, I guess. Yeah. And I think the opposite spectrum to not having your period for a lot of months is like when you get your period for a lot longer than expected, like way over 7 days.
I think that's a health condition as well.
Yeah.
If you get it like
consistently. If it's like a regular thing, then it is a health condition. I'm pretty sure it starts with M.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name, but
It's long.
But sometimes it like that just might happen like it's not like a consistent thing, and that's completely normal too.
Yeah.
Like I remember like my second period was I'm pretty sure it was close to 3 weeks.
It was
like,
not a good time for you at school, man.
Yeah, Rihanna knows I complained about it so much because I was like, why is this so long? I was actually scared. I went to the doctor and they were like, no, you're completely fine. This just happens sometimes. If it's regular, come back. But it wasn't a regular thing. So, but those 3 weeks, that was like almost the whole month. I was like, girly, what is going on?
Same. Like,
Yeah.
I was in Vietnam like a long time ago, and it lasted for like the whole 2 weeks.
Oh my god.
And and it was weird because there was like spotting. So you get like bits and bits of it. But it's like a huge flow, and the next day it's a huge flow. It's so random. And that's just like.
And even like it could be like your flow has been like consistent throughout the whole year, and then 1 year you don't have your period for literally 9 months. That happened to me, and I reached
9 months.
Yeah, I didn't have my period for 9 months after having a whole year being consistent.
Yeah.
And then literally by the time the 9 month hit, I was like, my baby's coming out. I was like ready for a baby to pop out.
That's what Google always says. Like, oh, why haven't I got my period? You search it up, and then like Google always says you're pregnant.
Girl, I didn't even touch it. I went to the back. I haven't even looked at a voice. No,
But
I didn't get my period for like 3 months. Was it? I was like, what is going on?
Same.
I was like,
4
wait.
months.
I was
5.
living those 9 months though.
I was like,
having the
oh
time
my
of my
god, what the hell?
Like, I think after 2 years of getting your period, if it's still like super irregular, then it's probably like good to see a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. I think they're very understanding.
Yeah.
Like you think it's like weird and awkward to consult a doctor about it, but once you get there, it's very.
Yeah.
And it's not something to be shamed upon.
And a lot of people go through it. It's
I think 1 in 3 women has that M thing. Well,
Yeah.
Maybe 1 in 8. I don't know, but it's common. Yeah. What are some of the pains of periods, like cramps? What's the worst cramps
I'm
you've
a
had?
very lucky person.
Oh, same.
Same.
Oh my god, we
My-
no one has
My
cramps?
periods are max 3 days.
Oh, not long.
Oh,
no,
okay,
not
that's
that.
fine.
I'm so blessed. My periods are max 3
Blessed.
days, medium flow, no cramps, no pain. I'm so blessed.
You know what? Maybe it's short-lived. Maybe you'll get paid later.
Nikki, what are you trying to say?
You're not as lucky as you think you are, Rihanna.
Oh,
My periods are like 8 days long to 6
Oh my
days.
God.
6 to 8 days.
really?
6 to 8 days. My
Holy
periods are
God,
pretty
I can never.
long.
Oh yeah, mine's medium, like 5
Yeah.
to 6.
Yeah.
5 to 7.
The first couple of years of getting my period, I was pretty lucky in the fact that it was always long, but like I was pretty lucky in the fact that I didn't get that much pain from it. Like most of the time I wouldn't even notice it. It was kind of like the annoying thing of like buying pads and changing them and blah blah blah. But like it was all fine. But I think it started to get like I started to actually feel like the symptoms of like having a period in like
you had
year
like
9.
uncomfortable cramps.
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
painful
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you couldn't walk, but
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
very-
Then I started to like actually feel the period life in year 9, and oh my god, I hated it so much. Like I get really bad headaches. I feel really
Oh.
lightheaded, and like I get really dizzy, and I feel like really, really tired,
low
right?
iron.
Yeah. So it's just like I can't, and my stomach. It's not that I get cramps. It's more that it feels like I've eaten something like rotten, or like I have like. It literally felt like I had salmonella. Like every time I get my period, it feels like I have salmonella now.
That's
It legit
Wow.
feels like salmonella, and I never had that feeling before. I went like all those years without like even feeling anything when I got my period. So yeah, but I don't get cramps. I don't even know if I've ever had a cramp, or maybe I have and I just haven't
Wow,
noticed.
we're lucky. I know my sister isn't. Like,
Oh my god,
we
my
went
sister
to,
has bad cramps.
yeah, my sister's really bad. Right, we went to the Vietnam trip, and I've never seen her in so much
Oh my
pain.
god, poor girl.
It was the most like painful scene. It was excruciating. She couldn't move. She just sat there like crying in her bed, and she just no move. I didn't know what to do, so I just brought her hot water. But like, yeah, it was so painful. She couldn't like.
Oh my
and
God.
that happens to a lot of girls. They have to stay like
Yeah.
they can't go to school. They can't walk.
And I hate the thing where like if you're like at school on your period and you're having really bad cramps and like you're doing sport or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
and you tell the teacher and they're like, oh, woman up or man up,
Yeah,
or like that's not an excuse. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, they don't recognize that.
Yeah.
It's
It's worse when it's a female teacher doing
Oh.
it.
And
my God.
there's two sides to that coin where it's like, you know, now we're like told like, you know, even when you have your period, you can do anything.
Yeah,
Which is true. Like
Yeah.
you can like go for it. But there are like people that really like there are days that like you feel so like drained and tired, or like you're just really going through it with like your symptoms and stuff like that, where you can't, and people are like, oh, you're just using it as an excuse, because it's such a popular thing to use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
But sometimes you really are going through it and you can't, like it's actually excruciating pain. And it does really annoy me when like teachers is like, so you can't use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like if I could just give you 5 seconds of this pain, you would tell me a different answer. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what's the most frustrating? Like when you're like angry or at someone, or like you're irritated and they ask, and like especially
no.
a guy, and they ask you, is it that time of the month?
Oh my
Or,
god.
like,
I will
are you on
punch
your
them in the
period?
face.
Ah, that's so
Like, in
annoying.
fact, I am on my period, and
Yeah.
my senses have been heightened, and
Yeah.
my BS radar has just gone off,
Even,
right?
even if you're on your period, it's still frustrating that they assume that.
Yeah. It's like, maybe you're just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but maybe I just have a great sense of honesty,
Mm.
and I just realized that you suck.
Yeah.
That's not because I'm menstruating at all. Like,
Mm.
oh my god, like, I can't deal with it.
Like-
It angers me so much
Yeah,
when
they,
people
they,
say
they,
that.
they like devalidate
Yeah.
your emotions,
Yeah.
or like I don't know, like
Accuse it for that one
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
like they devalidate, and also like I don't know, like negate it. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just like
Yeah.
it's they blame it on something that's not, and it's just really frustrating, guys. Huge tip: if you ever want a girl to like you, don't ever say that.
Don't.
That's the most frustrating thing to hear.
Yeah.
That's
It's
a
so-
fat turn off.
Fat turn off.
Yeah,
So
like,
just-
literally. But another point to that is that like that they're basically like alluding to the fact that having a period makes you like, you know, not straight thinking,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
not, like irrational.
irrational, and it's like, how are you trying to tell me that because I'm menstruating I can't think straight? Like you
Yeah.
can't, like that really bothers me. It's like, I can still write my essay, I can still do my math equation, and I can still tell you that you are shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what is your issue? Like, I can't deal with when they do that. And I think it's for them, it's a way of normalizing it for them. Because it makes it more comfortable to make fun of
Yeah.
something that they don't know about.
Yeah.
And they don't really understand.
Yeah. 100%.
But- Boys don't. Like,
Yeah.
it's
super frustrating to hear.
yeah. If you want to end up lonely forever, please go. Keep going. Like, trust me, no one will like you.
Do you guys have like a fear of tampons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like in our religion, it's so you're not allowed to use it because you lose your virginity.
Oh right.
But even
But
then,
that's like not true though.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It
absolutely
says-
not true.
It's absolutely not
It's
true,
not
but
big
they
enough to break your hymen. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But even if that wasn't taught in our religion, I would still never use a tampon.
Oh, really?
it's like that thing where it's like, it's taboo. Like, my mom, I don't think she's ever used, like, a tampon, so I wasn't taught about it.
Yeah.
And then I have tampons, right? I just have them because, like, I bought them for myself, because I was like, whatever, one day when, like, I suddenly decide that I'm gonna become Ian Thorpe and I'm on my period, what am I gonna do? Like, you know what I mean? Gotta go swimming. I don't know. So I got them, but then I was like, how do I do this? I was, like, so scared.
Wow.
So I was like, it's like there. It's just,
I just
yeah.
don't. No.
You busted open in front of the mirror.
like,
Oh, Nikki.
No, but it's
and this
for
is when
me-
everybody turns around.
For me, I don't think it's that uncomfortable. I would totally use it, but it's like
I just don't know how.
I just know I'm just scared it will leak. People say it won't, but what if it slips?
The biggest fear I have is toxic shock syndrome.
Oh yeah.
Because with a pad, that's less likely. But
you
with,
still
like,
get yeast infections.
yeah.
If you get too long.
But with like a tampon, is like all I can think about is toxic shock
Yeah.
syndrome, and I don't want to die.
Dude, tampons. I don't think
Rihanna's just like
Rihanna's dying right now.
Rihanna can't stop laughing.
I guess it's easy.
I just feel like as soon as you pull out that tampon, it's just waterfall.
No one's gonna listen to this.
Can we please move on?
No, I can't. Oh, dear. What about menstrual cups? They're weird. Or like diva cups.
You know how they're supposed to like suck.
I don't know how they work.
Yeah, no, they're supposed to like go in and suck up.
Yeah.
Like they just like kind of
Really?
stick to your
Your vaginal wall.
dog.
Your-
Oh my god.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, they're supposed to like do that. But my biggest issue is like, how am I gonna put it up there? What if it drops?
Oh my god! You're wearing a dress and it just like
it pops.
No.
It looks like red wine spilling. Everyone's like, wait, what? Like, oh,
no. They're piggybacking. It's true. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. This is such.
Can we move on? What's the next topic?
You know, we keep making jokes that everybody's like acting like not like they pause the video now. They probably stop like at the start. And they're like, today's episode is about parents. I'm like, bye, not today. Not on my work commute.
Wait, you know what? I'm glad there are like companies out there that produce these kind of like things for women who are not comfortable using other options. But and I'm also glad like they what is it, like they create like period underwears. Those are cool.
Okay.
I was sneezing.
So
Sneezing.
Some guy wrote, I'm a guy and I haven't had my period yet. What do I do?
well,
Oh,
to this
sweetie.
guy, I just want to let
It's
you know
coming
that live your life before you have your period, man.
Yeah,
It's
gonna
probably
get
the best
hard.
few lives.
It's gonna get hard, but you just gotta get through it. So basically what happens, let me inform you, once you touch a girl's hand, they actually pass on the power of menstruation.
Yeah.
We also eat our pads.
Yeah, we eat.
Sorry.
And
Yeah, when
before
we
you
just
know
get
it,
lucky.
you're bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're bleeding.
So to that guy who hasn't got their period yet, just touch a girl's hand, but it has to be a love connection.
Yeah.
Also
True
at
love.
work.
You guys go back to school and suddenly like you just see like
Everyone holding hands.
you're like, wait a second. Or on the opposite, no one holds hands. Like, I like you. Can we hold hands? He's like, no. I'm not trying to
Okay.
get my period.
Following up with that question, I have a question.
Okay.
No, from
Oh,
our viewers.
the anonymous page.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so the question is, if boys had periods, would tampons be an option?
Wait. No, wait. How?
What do you mean? Like, would that fit physically, or
No, I
is
don't-
it like?
How would that be an option? How would you feel?
You know,
that?
don't like some guys get their penis removed, or is that just me being an idiot right now?
No, they get
No, they do.
circumcised.
What is that? I don't know what that means.
They cut off the foreskin. So
Are we
this is-
keeping this in?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure. They cut off the foreskin. It's like yeah, I don't know why they do it. Why did they do it? It's
To
it's clean,
keep
right?
clean.
Yeah, keep it clean.
Muslim things, but also Jewish things, but also another things, but I can't remember.
Okay, so
What
boys
did others
shouldn't
say?
be allowed tampons?
But I mean, you can if you can stick it
Yeah,
up
for
there,
sure.
but
If
like
you're
girl,
comfortable,
yeah.
go for it.
girly, I don't know how you're gonna get it up there.
Okay.
There's a well, you can just push it.
Tampons are decently thick. How are you gonna get that up your?
You know what? It's soft.
Okay, we're gonna
Yeah,
move
but
on.
it's not that soft that it can go up your...
Okay,
You know what? For some women, it's easy, and especially when you're
I'm talking
swimming.
about if you haven't... We're gonna delete this
Oh,
part.
right.
If you
No,
have
we
a
don't
deep
have to.
halal-
This is not like a question, but I'm just gonna include it because it sounds fun. Okay.
Yeah.
What if we have a period party and drink each other's like a roulette or pin the tail on the period person and we get points if we correct correctly? Wait, so if we guess correctly, sorry.
That's cute. Wait, isn't that from a video a long time ago? This mum threw a girl a period.
I love how you
birthday
just
party.
called this cute and Rihanna was like, it's a roulette with other people's blood. That's cute! I wanted to do that for a while. I've been planning
That's
something.
a bonding experience I never want to do.
I would totally join. That's
It's a
so
little
cute.
bit too close.
Wait. So you drink each
Other
other's-
people's-
Oh, okay. No. Well,
Nikki's like,
as long as
that's
it's
my type of gig.
sanitized, you know.
She's like, that's my type of gig. I've been watching Vampire Diaries.
Oh my god. You know,
Edward?
like, you know, in like
I hate
Twilight.
Vampire Diaries.
If like Edward smells your period blood, like would he?
I
get
hate
super
Twilight.
thirsty?
I'm so
Sorry.
I'm
when
so,
he goes on vacation, he takes your pads.
Oh, ew! Rihanna.
I'm so sorry for it, but like, I hate Vampire Diaries. I don't understand. I don't like Twilight either.
Alright, we just ended off with Vampire Diaries.
What are any other embarrassing stories you got?
Yeah.
You know what?
Do you know?
I've experienced a lot of leaks, and it's super embarrassing because like, you know, obviously you don't want people to see it.
And it's just like a state of panic.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god, how do I hide it? How do I not look like weird?
How do I
Yeah.
go on the rest of the day with
yeah,
it?
you
Yeah.
always get like very self-aware and self-conscious
Yeah.
when you stand up,
Mm.
and you don't want it to leak.
Yeah, no, I had like a choir practice in like year 5, and I was
Mm.
sitting down on the table because like a group was practicing.
Mm.
And we have like, the tables are kind of like a nude color, right? I'm just sitting down, living my best life in these skirts, because primary school is the best. And I just sidetrack. Why don't we have skirts in high school? They're like the best
oh my
thing
God.
ever.
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyways.
All I got from that sentence was, why don't we? Sorry,
Oh my
continue.
god. Okay. She loves the
She's
band,
such a
by the
stan.
way.
Yes. Anyways, so I was sitting there and then I went to get up because it was our turn to sing or whatever for the practice. And, you know, I look behind me and there's like just a splotch of red on the table. And it was so terrifying because so many people were there and they were all facing like the smart board, right? And the tables were behind the smart board, so I had some time and I ran so fast to get tissues and I was like hopefully, like nobody, I don't think anybody really noticed.
I wouldn't mind you like just using my hands to like wipe it, honestly, at that point. I'm so desperate.
I rubbed it off as quickly as I could, right? And it literally looked like, you know when like, if you put some like a paint or something on like a sponge?
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
And that's what it looked like, and it was
dries
so,
up.
Yeah, and I was like trying to rub it, and like it low key went away, but not fully. And I was like, girl, I'm not sitting. I'm gonna act like I didn't sit here. So I quickly went over to another table, but my dumbass sat down again. I was like, why did I just sit down? I know what happened over there. And again, another sponge. Rub that one out because that one was quickly done, right? So I could rub that one out, and the rest of the day, because that day was like Day for Daniel, which is like when you wear red for like what's it called, safety for children and stuff like that. So because it was Day for Daniel, I had my skirts on, but I also had a red top and a red cardigan. Okay. So I just tied the red cardigan over my skirt, and thank God it was Day for Daniel. Like, otherwise, like guys, I was starting to look like, you know.
My embarrassing story.
Go.
So, it was during Ramadan. I think we all know what that is. You fast for 20 a month. And so it was like
Sound like you said 20 months anyways.
Oh, sorry, a month. So I was not fasting obviously because I was on my period, because you can't fast because you're unhygienic and not clean. Anyway,
Stigma.
and so then it was like lunchtime, and I was like, okay, I don't want to eat like a whole meal because they hear me like with the microwave and everything. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna grab a few snacks and run upstairs to my room. And so I did that. And I forgot to lock the door on my room. And so, like, I'm mid-eating, and my uncle just, like, barged into my room. He's like, what are you doing? Aren't you fasting? And I was like, and, like, I froze, because, like, I've never, like, told any of the males in my house that I have my period. I was like, and I, like, literally just stuttered the whole thing. And my uncle was like, I'm gonna tell your mom, you know. And I was like, okay, go ahead, because my mom knew I had my period.
Yeah.
And then, like, literally, like, half an hour later, like, I was traumatized, by the way.
Oh,
And then half an hour
no.
later, he comes back in the room. He's like, sorry, like, I know you're on your period. I'm like, and I felt so uncomfortable because he said it in such, like, a weird way. I was like, oh, okay, thanks, bye.
Oh.
Yeah. I also leaked in MacArthur Square food court. Anyway,
I leaked at school library and it was so
oh, you
embarrassing.
did?
Ew, people are gonna listen to this and know.
Oh, the school you currently go to, the library.
How do you think I feel? Okay, people at my school will attack me. That's why I'm just hoping that
I try my
the
best
trash
to
people
rub
don't
it off.
find out. Huh?
That's okay. Literally, majority of our listeners are probably girls.
Yeah.
Our 3 listeners are probably girls. Love y'all. Okay, so we have one last question from our anonymous page. They ask, talk about how to maintain a good hygiene during one cycle. Relatable period stories. Laughing by ourselves. Can't believe I'm saying this, but how disgusting the smell is. How to deal with discharge.
Okay.
Oh, I like this question.
Cool,
So,
cool.
I think
Hygiene.
when it comes to hygiene, it's all about, like, for me at least, like, because I kind of understand when my cycle will come. I'm sorry, Nikki and Rihanna just randomly started holding hands. I don't know what's happening. I think they were passing off their menstrual cycle. Real listeners will understand. Pay attention. Anyways, so I think when it comes to hygiene, once you understand your cycle, for me, I think it's like about
Shaving down there.
cleaning like the
Wax.
like
Sorry.
yeah,
Oh my
like
god.
cleaning before you get your period
Mm.
to kind of like prepare for it. And also when it comes to hygiene, like make sure that you change your pad or your tampon every 2 to 4 hours because you don't want a yeast infection, you don't want toxic shock syndrome and stuff like that, and it just keeps it fresh.
And
Right.
that also reduces
Yeah.
the smell.
Yeah.
And also, ladies, shower on your period. That's
Yes,
really important.
yeah,
Take a bath or
regularly.
shower. Baths when you're on your period will
I could never.
I know
Oh, yeah,
it
it's a
sounds
bit
like
gross.
the water will like the blood will get
mix
into
into the water.
But what actually happens is when you take a bath on your period, the blood doesn't actually like
Flow out.
flow out because of the water pressure, right?
Oh,
Until you actually get up,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So you won't actually like have any blood floating around.
That's so funny. I was imagining like a little clot just
Yeah, you
float
would-
by your head.
You know, you
Sorry.
Would, yeah, you would think that happens, but it's actually like that like
Wow. Misconception.
misconception. Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the word.
Oh.
Yeah, it's actually a misconception, right? And take showers, and trust me, you will feel a lot cleaner. So
Yeah.
change your pad, prepare before you have your period. Take your showers, and I think.
Also, a tip, if you leak a lot on your period, get like an old shirt,
Yeah.
an old bed sheet, an old towel,
Yeah,
and lay
like
it on
line
the,
it. Yeah.
where your butt usually lays on your bed, and trust
yeah,
me,
that's
that will become your period towel,
Yeah, otherwise
whatever.
it like stays in your mattress forever.
yeah.
Oh god.
Been there, done that. I have like a period t-shirt and towel just in case if I need
I
to
got
wear.
period pants.
Oh yeah,
Oh, nice.
I have period shorts that I wear when
Yeah,
I'm on my
period
period.
shoes. Yeah.
They're good to have for like
Yeah,
just
because
in case
trust
you
me,
leak.
there will be days that you leak, and you don't want
Yeah.
that on like your favorite pants and stuff like
Yeah.
that, your favorite outfits. So like,
Mm.
make sure that you've got like your period outfits and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
There's also soap for your vagina. So it's called Femme Fresh or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and yeah, it makes it a lot more cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also when if you're getting out of the shower and you don't want to like leak on your towel, like sit on the toilet and then dry yourself with the towel. So
Oh,
it drops.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
smart.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
I
drops-
usually, like, as soon as I get a
Dude,
shower,
I
my
literally, I
armpits are
remember,
all-
yeah, no, because this is the thing I do, like, but if I'm like on my period and I'm going to the shower, I will put on the pad, like,
On the-
to like the pair of like
Yeah.
pants like beforehand,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So then the second I get out, I'm like,
Yeah.
put it on, and then I'm like patting myself, dry my body, and get out. Like,
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
I take my time because I just sit on the toilet.
That's smart. I should do that.
wow, what a legend! Wow, just
Yeah.
down here. And
Learned
when
it
it comes
from,
to like discharge, even when you're not on your period, there's like panty liners.
Mm-mm.
Which like they're just like a thinner version of like pads, so you can use those. I think it definitely helps to like keep it like kind of fresh and stuff like
And
that.
avoid stains on your periods. I mean,
Yeah.
on underwear. Sorry.
Yeah. So
And when you leak on something, like an item of clothing, straight away hand wash it or it
Yeah,
will not come
straight
out.
away. Do not wait.
Do
Girl,
not put it in the
I've been
washing
there.
machine, wait for it.
I was on like a video call with Rihanna and Susanna the other day, and like I had like a stain and I was like, guys, how do I take it out? Because like I hadn't had one in so long that I had forgot what to do. And they're like, how long has that stain been on there? I'm like, a day. And they're like, you're so screwed.
Yeah.
And I literally, I don't know what I did. I think I poured bleach on it. I don't know what I did. I was like scrubbing away.
Yeah.
Like,
Literally just hand soap, literally anything works. Just
Mm.
wash it immediately, the stain
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah.
If you get on your bed, I remember once I just got a paper towel and I soaked in a lot of detergent
Mhm.
with water and I just put it on there and like after hours it's gone. It's like it
Oh,
was
that's a good
never
tip.
there. It was never there, but you have to do it quickly.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Can't wait.
anyways, so we've talked a lot about uncomfortable topics today. Hopefully.
We were very vulnerable in this episode, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Don't call us out, okay? You know that if you did this, you would find it hard. Like, don't lie to me and tell me that this is gonna be easy. Don't make fun of us, or I'll come after you.
And if you're a guy who says, "Are you on your period?"
Shut the
Leave
fuck
this
up.
earth. No one wants you. I'm kidding. Just don't say that.
Change, be a better person,
Yeah.
or you're gonna end up lonely.
And appreciate your periods, guys. Means you
Yeah.
haven't gotten pregnant.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know,
Well,
Unless
that's
you didn't get your
great
period
right
for 9
now.
months.
yeah. Unless you want to get pregnant, which
Yeah.
is great. Great. Good for you. Good for you.
Anyway,
Thank you so much for watching.
thanks for joining.
Our second episode was definitely a vulnerable one.
Sorry.
Okay. Shout out to our 3 listeners. We love you. And it's probably 1 by now because, well, this topic was gruesome to say the least. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.